waking up this morning with looks like a pretty nice view down on Lake Superior, down on 12 Mile Beach. Gonna go ahead and grab all my camera gear. Gonna head on down there, see what's going on. This is why I took the time last night to go ahead and charge up my batteries, make sure everything's good to go. You wake up and the weather looks like it's broke now. Looks pretty good down there. And film first light, film some of the clouds and stuff. All right. Got my Canon. I like my cell phone, this S10. It's an older model, but it takes great pictures. I like to take it. Better take a pair of glasses, just in case it's blowing down there. All right, let's get on down there and see what Miss Superior is looking like this morning. Hey, good morning, by the way. Glad you're here with me. Let's go on down there and see what it looks like. Yeah, definite improvement from yesterday. Lake is much calmer. Wow. Good morning. Storms aren't over yet. That's a pretty big one out there moving in. Yeah, with these storms moving in, I might go ahead and drive into Grand Marais or either back over to Munising. I need to get some ice. I don't want the food that I brought to spoil. So far it's been okay, but I'm going to risk it if the temperature starts coming up a little bit. I'm kind of caught between which way to go. Grand Marais is closer, about 16 miles. I could get gas there, get ice. I could go by and visit Chad and Trevor's Memorial, Munising. That's a pretty drive down there, especially with the sun coming out. I could get ice. I saw some really cool Halloween decorations there I thought would be nice to film. I don't know, but it's twice the distance. It's almost 35 miles to Munising. Yeah, you come to 12 Mile Beach, be sure to get up early in the morning and come on out here on the beach before the sun rises. Of course, the sun is probably up high enough already up in here, but it's pretty cool to see this before the sun rays hit the beach. Pretty nice. Glad the weather's breaking. We're gonna hike that way today, go on down to that point. Definitely got to watch those storms. I got rain gear, but I don't want to get caught out in this cool weather and rain. That would not be good. Okay, the rain has caught up with me. I knew it was coming in. It looks like it's going to be some showers again this morning. Go ahead and climb up the sand dune here, get back to Montana, eat some breakfast, figure out where I want to go from there. Yeah, you can see the rain on the water. Let's get on back to the Montana. That's one lesson I learned being here on 12 Mile Beach in the Upper Peninsula of Michigan, Lake Superior. Hey, don't hesitate. If you're into photography, cinematography, you want to go down there and capture the lake, capture those clouds in the morning, lighten up like that, you got to get up right when you wake up, you open up your eyes, get on down there, because right now it's totally different. If you walk down there now, it's raining. The water, you can't see about half the water. The horizon's gone as far as being clouded out, and all those beautiful clouds are all covered up now with rain. So this is the time I'll go ahead and eat some breakfast, drink me a super coffee, get my bed put up, get my captain chairs put back, figure out where I want to go from here. Be a good day to run into Munising or Grand Marais first thing this morning. Get that ice, get some things done, come back, hopefully do some hiking. Let's see how the day goes. Woo! 12 Mile Beach, UP of Michigan, pure Michigan. You know, I was sitting there thinking, when you go on excursions by yourself, when you go on adventures by yourself, you know, obviously there's nobody to talk to when you go on a solo trip. I was just asking myself just then, hey, Mr. Lawrence, how'd you sleep last night? Pretty well through the pandemic, the studies have showed that a lot more people started really talking to themselves because they were alone. From my understanding, the studies that I'm reading and I'm following, behavioral scientists have realized it's okay to talk to yourself, especially if you're alone. You know, it's a way to run your thoughts by you. Sometimes when you say it out loud, it changes the way you think about it. It sounds a little different than when you're just running it through your head. So it seems like the studies that I've seen say that, hey, if you talk to yourself, it's okay. Talk to yourself. Of course, the one little joke that I've always said was, hey, it's okay to talk to yourself unless you go, huh? That's a little morning humor for you there. Anyways, eating my toast again that's untoasted. It's too rainy, too windy. You know, I kind of thought about that, you know, probably next year when I come here, I ought to think about building some kind of like a little shelter deal, maybe a 3-sided shelter that you could get into against the wind, that you could cook and do things like that. Because, see, I can't do anything like that. Can't cook inside for sure. Right. So anyways, I did ask myself, how did I sleep last night? And the answer was, I was awake an awful lot. You know, laying there, listen to the rain, listen to sleet. It was sleeting a lot of times. The wind is just so powerful. The wind shifted more broadside to the Montana coming from the northwest. And so the Montana was actually shaking just a little bit more. But it wouldn't be a constant. It'd go like this and it'd stop. And then maybe 5-10 seconds later it'd do this again and stop. So that was pretty cool. But I was deep in thoughts. And so I wasn't frustrated because I wasn't sleeping, because I've got an awful lot of sleep so far on this trip. So a lot of times if you can't sleep, it's good just to run things through your mind and figure life out, you know, whatever you want to figure out. So anyways, it wasn't bad. All right, I better eat my toast before it gets cold. Blue sky, white clouds. You hear the roar of Lake Superior. Just a multitude of colors here is just brilliant. And I couldn't help but notice this. This is so cool. These are some signs that they have here. I like Mother Nature is adding her touch into it. Pretty cool. All right, Birch, I'm gonna head on down the road. Always a joy to be here. First time I came to Picture Rocks, to this area right here, 12 Mile Beach, I brought my two younger kids, Briley and Alex. I'm thinking Alex might have been around 4 years old. Briley probably 7, 8. You know, fluctuate the years a little bit right there. We came here, had sea kayaks, got out there. The water was calm. Got to see kayaks, see the big boulders underneath the water. Just beautiful. Here, if I remember right, a lot of the roads out here just to get here were still the sand roads. That's the contrast between a brick wall and the wild lake. Makes a big difference. Safe harbor. This is the very infamous place. Basically, two boys drowned, Chad and Trevor. I've got a video on it if you want to check it out, a memorial video for them. Yeah, the boys got hit by about a 10-foot wave and blew them right off the break wall. Just a sad, sad story. Chad and Trevor's memorial. Boys were washed right into this ice-cold water by a giant wave. Rest in peace, brothers. Rest in peace. I like to see when people stop and read the warnings, read the memorial. Pretty sweet. He died right out there. 10-foot wave blew him right off that break wall. Pretty incredible story. There's a little tiny brewery that I was at when 9/11 happened. I'd walked in there right after the Twin Towers had fell. I was going to walk in there and kind of tell my story, maybe go ahead and order a cheeseburger while I'm there, and hit the road, get back to camp, get ready to do a hike. They're still calling for a 50% chance of rain today, so I'm going to have to be careful. We can't go very far, but we will do some hiking today. Old boys are hard at it. Getting the museum all fixed up. Probably be done by next year. Wow, that is one brave soul right there. Heading out on Lake Superior. That's incredible.
That's what Michigan weather will do to your vehicle, especially in the UP. Hello, Cole. What are you doing today?
Hi. All right, I'm gonna get back to 12 Mile Beach, set up on my new campsite, although it looks like rain is moving in. Hey, if it rains, it rains. I'll figure something to do. Glad you're still along. Even the beach has goblin rocks. So if you get the chance, come on up to the UP of Michigan, all the way to Lake Superior, the United States of America land border. Come visit. You'll be surprised what you see up here. Beautiful. I like this little group of pine trees. They're all hanging in together. One for all for one, boys. A lot of people travel all around the world looking for paradise. Yet here it is, in the UP of Michigan, Lake Superior. Oh yeah. Yeah, I don't think I'll cross that tape today. Something tells me something's very wrong beyond that first step. You're not going to find sunsets more beautiful. Yeah, this is one of those crazy Lake Superior days. Boy, I tell you, driving here less than 20 minutes ago or so, the sun was shining. It looked like, boy, the wind was dying down. It was going to be perfect. And then bam, something like this hits. And it is just, it's socked in out there right now. It is raining. The wind is blowing again. I do see some bright blue skies out there. So I'm thinking eventually this is going to clear up. So I think what I'm going to do is, rather than get the backpack and all my survival gear and really try to get all the way down to the leaning tree, I'm not going to do that today. The forecast I saw at Grand Marais is tomorrow on Thursday. There is just like a 20% chance of rain at best. Still take your rain gear for sure. Still going to be chilly for sure. But this rain chance, today it's a 50% chance, and I think that's what's going on. So I'm thinking this rain is probably going to be over with, probably within 30 minutes, maybe an hour to most, and I'm going to get out on the beach and do some more photographing and maybe kind of walk down that way, but just not go very far. Probably a good idea. So this was a wow moment. I just filmed this pine dancing in the wind. Walked around the other side and look at the root system. That is absolutely incredible. You know, I'm just wondering if this pine knows it may be the next leaning tree here on Lake Superior. Wow. I call this work of art Sea Monster Harpooned. You know, we've been talking about things walking through the woods. Sometimes you can look out there and almost imagine things walking around. You know, for over a year now, I've been staying pretty close to the cabin, pretty close to home. Going to the Hoosier National Forest, got that nice fishing boat, that 1987. Got a lot of videos out on it. Kind of educated myself on how to hunt those big bass in the water. It's a whole different universe. Going out fishing, throwing a pole in, seeing what you catch is one thing, but when you're targeting those great big bass like that, that's a whole nother species out there that's very difficult, very smart fish, very hard to catch. But I'm learning. I've been having a good time putting out some great videos. But you know what? I'm glad I came on this trip right here. Even though it's a short trip, you tend to forget how nice it is being out here in places like this that you don't get to see every day. You know, for me, it's an 800-mile journey to get up here. You know, you don't know what the weather's going to be like. You can't control any of that. So you just come on up and enjoy it. I sure like being out here. Man, even though it is cold and rainy, don't matter to me. It's still being gone on an adventure. Yeah, I'm afraid it's going to be one of those days today, kind of like a teaser day. You know, yesterday you knew there's no way you're going to walk down the beach. Today is a little bit different of a story. It just seems to me like I see blue sky, and yet I see the big rain coming in right now. So it's going to constantly be that way, I believe. Yeah, that's pretty rainy out there. Of course, over here you can see the clear, but yeah, that's a lot of rain moving in right there. It's starting to rain on me right now, so I'm just going to go on back. That's just the way it is. When you come to Superior, things like that happen. You can tell it's socked in pretty good. Maybe it'll just last an hour, maybe longer. I don't know for sure. I don't want to get my jacket wet, my hat wet. So I'm just going to go up here and hang out. I'm back on campsite 25, just hanging out. But I actually have 37, which is on the other side of the loop here, straight across, kind of what I call back in the woods against the old sand dune. I'm back there, going to camp there tonight. I looked at the radar, and the radar showed that there's going to be bands of rain come in like this quite often. I thought maybe I could get out there and hike. Might still be able to, but if I can't, I can't. Still glad to be here. I enjoyed that trip to Grand Marais. That was fun. Going to the harbor, seeing that guy try to go out there on Lake Superior in that little fishing boat. Although I got to thinking, I think what he does is he goes out as far as the break wall, turns around and comes back, and he's probably got some lures in the water, and he's just kind of trolling, wanting to catch some whitefish or whatever he's after there. I find this very interesting. On 9/11 at 2 a.m. in the morning, I was camped right here at 12 Mile Beach. I got up, I looked outside, and the northern lights were on fire straight out here. Got up, went down there, and I've never seen a more spectacular show in my life. I mean, they were like, I've seen pictures of the northern lights where they're different colors. This was all basically the lime green colors, but what was incredible is they look like spotlights going up into the air, gigantic, like hundreds of thousands of feet tall, all lined up in a row and all kind of going back and forth like that. Pretty creepy when I think about it. It's almost like the northern lights were trying to warn me, trying to warn the world something was going to happen, a disaster was going to happen, and that's what was going on at 2 a.m. 9/11 here on Lake Superior at 12 Mile Campground. Pretty wild. And in fact, if you look at the memorial they have for the 9/11, when they light it up at night, those gigantic spotlights that shoot up, that's what they look like. That's what the shore looked like that day on 9/11, 2 a.m. At 11 o'clock, I went on into the brew pub, found out what was going on. Pretty wild. And he's on his way, and he's actually about the second one I've seen heading in an opposite direction. All right, well, that was a pretty good sign right there. Less than 20 minutes ago, that rain had socked in and was everywhere, and now the wind has shifted, and now it's coming from the northeast, and it blew the rain onto the west. So Picture Rocks Cliffs and Munising, that whole area is going to be getting that rainstorm. Here at 12 Mile Beach, it's looking pretty clear. You just don't know when it comes to 12 Mile Beach and Lake Superior. But I tell you what, if the wind is blowing from the northeast this way, that's looking pretty good out there. I think I'm going to go ahead and pull onto my campsite number 37. So if somebody pulls up for 19, they can get on it. And I think I'm going to go down here and walk and go west and see how far we can go without actually getting in the water. Yeah. All right, I'm going to get my camera gear together. That sounds like a plan. Want to go? Let's go. Don't forget your rain gear. Very important, just in case the wind shifts around again. Because you know it's raining over there. Without a doubt, it is raining over there. I think that out there is Grand Island. There's the cliffs. That's where Castle Rock, Miner's Castle, that's where all that is. Oh, look out, look out. Ooh, losing control there. Must have hit a patch of ice right there. Anyway, this is nothing to mess with. You know, more I think about it, maybe I should get my backpack down. Because whatever happens once I walk down on that beach and I head this way, whatever happens out there, there's going to be nobody else out there. So if I got hurt bad, I'd have to sleep right there tomorrow night until somebody figured out, hey, this guy's missing down there. I don't know how long that would take. Because there's no grid system, there's nothing like that. Off the grid. Gotta be smart. You come out, weather like this, Lake Superior, be smart. Take the right stuff. Anytime you walk away from your camp, that you can spend the night if you had to. Campsite is deserted. There's almost nobody here. Kind of weird. Now I just did that segment. I bet you less than 10 minutes ago, maybe even 5. I have already rethought that hiking idea. Because what has happened is the wind has now started to come up. Solid. Sustained. And it's cold. I bet it's, if I had to guess, I bet it's 41 degrees. If I had to guess. Maybe 45. Now I'm hoping with this wind that you can hear me. But I've got a little insight for you. What you are looking at right there is the northern land border of the United States. That's it. Now the actual border is about 80 miles offshore, but as far as a land border, something you can walk on, this is it. Quite the contrast to the southern border, wouldn't you say? The threat would not be our brothers and sisters of Canada. They are a very good ally and friend. The threat would be somebody beyond Canada. Northwest. So hopefully a scenario never happens like that, and we all live in peace. In that case, still mark it down on your bucket list. Come out here, and for the day, walk down the northern land border of the United States of America. America the Beautiful. From sea to shining sea. For a day or two before that, I'd went into Munising and I went into Grand Marais and I saw a lot of hunters here, big boxes in the back, and they were bear hunters. And they had these big hounds that chase the bear and get it up a tree or corner it, and then the hunters are able to take the bear then. So now fast forward to a couple mornings after that, 8 o'clock in the morning, 7 o'clock in the morning, all of a sudden I heard the hounds, and they were up on top of that dune up in there, and it sounded like to me like they had probably treed a bear. I mean, they were going nuts, crazy. That's all I heard. I didn't necessarily hear a shot. I can't say I heard a shot where the bear was killed, but that sounded to me like that was going on, and all of a sudden it all stopped, the commotion stopped, and it ended. It was done. So I'm thinking that dogs either ran over here in this area and treed a bear, and the hunters came up and said, no, this is the bad territory. You're not supposed to hunt right here. Maybe. I don't know for sure. Called the dogs off, or something else happened. I don't know. But that just shows you that hunters are out here. And I ran into a backpacker one time coming down through here, and I said something to him. I said, hey, don't you think you ought to have maybe some orange on or something because of hunting season? He said, what do you mean? I said, well, there's hunters up here. He goes, nobody hunts Picture Rocks. I go, okay. He goes, besides, what would they hunt here? And I said, black bear? And he said, there's no black bear up here. I don't think he's right. I think there are a lot of black bear up here. Yeah, even Mr. Lawrence makes a rookie mistake now and then. Started walking down to the water, forgot my glasses. Don't do that on the sand. Not up here. Wind blows too hard, sand gets in your eyes, you're in real trouble. These are pretty nice glasses here too. These kind of have the shields on each side. Kind of the side and the top. Now, a pair of goggles would be better, but today it's not the risk. The other day, I wish I would have had some ski goggles. I actually have some wood cutting goggles that seal across your eyes. I wish I'd have brought those. I'll bring those next time for sure. A scenario for you. When I talk about this being the land border of the United States, and I can see military trucks and stuff going up and down it and securing it in case something bad happens. Possibly something that bad happens. Right across this water is Canada, our friends. United States are friends with Canada. Canadians are friends with Americans. If you head west and north, you eventually get to Alaska, part of the United States. Right across the Bering Straits is Russia. I think 50 miles, whatever the stretch is through there. What's above Canada? What's way up there? What if some army did a sneak move and moved equipment in above Canada? Canadians got a good army, but if they checkmate them and tell them don't move or you're annihilated, they can march right across Canada and be right here. Quick. Maybe some people never think about scenarios like this. That's fine. And maybe it never will happen. That'll be great. But I would think if you were military commanders, you thought this all through. I would think that the military would have means to secure this border through here. It probably is electronically, and I know I've been out here before and seen some pretty good sized aircraft, look like military, flying along the border or back and forth in this area right here. Some people concentrate on other things, you know, rather than securing the borders and making sure America stays safe. Places like this, it's always intrigued me how this is the end of America right here. Technically, no, out there in the water, but as far as land goes, this is it. You know, I don't really want to know about the bad things that are going on in the cities, all the just city knowledge you'd have to know to be in New York City, to know where to be safe, where not to be safe, how you get yourself in trouble. I just concentrate more on the wilderness part of it. If I'm in areas like this, how to stay safe, and I worry about this country. I want to make sure this country stays safe. So I was just wondering, was this a structural problem or just the sheer power of Lake Superior? Yeah, beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. See what I mean? An end to another beautiful day on 12 Mile Beach. All right, that was another beautiful day here on Lake Superior. Wow, just absolutely gorgeous, topped off with a beautiful sunset. Actually captured it here on my A900. Yeah, that's why I come to Lake Superior right there. Just the sheer beauty of it all. Just excellent. Hey, glad you spent the day. We're going to go on a hike tomorrow. I think the weather has broke. Ready to go. We're going to go see if we can find that big leaning tree that lives down on the beach down there. There went the sun. Thank you for a great day. Okay, just want to make this quick video. It is 10 o'clock at night. I'm on site number 3. Site number 1 is the very first site. It's an awesome site. Sometime late afternoon, early evening, I saw a group of people. They come carrying their tent down from the west side, which is the far side over there. They come carrying their tent down the street, had everything in it. You could tell their sleeping bags, it was very heavy. 2 guys looked like they were carrying it, and then a Subaru car was behind them. Okay, so I still see a brake light over there. Okay, I think what happened was they moved their tent down there earlier because nobody was on number 1. See, that's a mistake when it comes to 12 Mile Campground, because just because there's not somebody on there, if you could get cell service, like drive into Grand Marais or Munising, you would see that it's probably been rented out. It's probably no vacancy in this campground right now. So I think what happened is these people went down there, they saw that site, they said, oh, this is awesome. They carried their tent way down there, got it all set up, probably crashed out because it had been dark. And I just happened to get up, it's time to shut off my battery charger. My batteries were all charged. I just happened to see a car pull in and pull right into that site. Then it backed up, circled the whole campground, went back, pulled right in that site again. And I kind of figured that may be what happened. Sure enough, the tent just went by. They're carrying it back to their place. And I guess somebody's down there, but I don't see any lights down there on number 1. And what's weird is the one car, the Subaru, was following the guys with the tent when it went by. But then the other car that pulled in later was actually following it back. I don't know what's going on. Strange. I don't think it's anything bad, anything like that. It's just you got to be careful, because just because it looks like it's vacant, somebody pulls in the middle of the night, they can make you move. That's the way it goes at 12 Mile Beach, Lake Superior. Yeah, you can see the rain on the water. Let's get on back to Montana.